the A-finals.
Oh, Kathleen Burko coming up head-to-head with Katerina Nicolado, Greg, in this next semi. That's going to be a real feast, I think.
Well, we've seen some great racing already, and I'm looking forward to this second semi-final of the women's lightweight double scull, as we see the crews here heading out well into their pace now, and they're through the first 500 already at 675 metres down the course, and we can see it is a good move from the American sculler there, but also the Chinese sculler right in there in the second position, as you say, with the Greek in third.
You know, Gao Shuai, the Chinese sculler, she was way back for the lightweight women's doubles, 20th place in Egg-Ballet in the World Cup when she came over, so she obviously hasn't made that Olympic class boat, but she can make a mark if she gets into the final here, there's no doubt about that at all.
We have a look in here at Burko and seeing the efficiency, just how small she is, weighing 57 kilos in that boat, which will weigh around 14 kilos underneath her. And she's moving it along as efficiently as she can, doing nothing to slow it down, which is why I think she's able to just squeeze out and get a lead on this Greek and Chinese sculler we see chasing.
Yeah, we did see Burko, of course, in the World Championships last year get that silver medal in the double. I'm actually gutted not to be in the double this year. Of course, last year she was silver medal with Christian Hedstrom. And she's a multi-talented woman. She has rowed heavyweight quad. She was in third in the quads in Lucerne in 2012. So this woman is a real competitor for the States.
And we've got a shout out on Twitter from Susan Francia to Kate Burko saying, "Give them the raw doggy." So I'm not sure what that's about, but Susan obviously cheering on her teammate, who's looking very, very strong out in the lead with a clear water gap over the very seasoned Greek sculler, Nicolaidou. She's been around for many years.
I tell you, it's very interesting, you know, to look at what was going on in the heats, because Kathleen Burko must have been keeping something on the wraps, or she's going to suddenly find the competition come back to her. She's going to quickly, because she got beaten by the German Leonie Pless, who we saw in the previous race, coming in at second place. And she was 3 seconds behind us, so this is a great performance. But we've talked about Katerina Nicolado, of course, fantastic under-23 record she's got, and right in the running as we come in. Maybe we're going to see a sprint for the line again. Yeah, well, we're seeing, I think people are looking tired here. That head nodding there we see from the Chinese sculler doesn't look to me that she's going to have that turn of pace that she's going to need, and I wonder whether she might get caught. But also looking at the American sculler, for me, she hasn't got the acceleration that she had earlier on in the race. It just looks like, again, her head is going somewhat.
Yeah, she's put a lot out very early. I certainly think that the Greek sculler for me is looking very strong. She's just closing that clear water gap that Burko had in the early stages, but she's still moving that boat, physically looking like she's tiring now, but she's still got great boat speed there. She's moving the boat quicker than anyone else at this stage still, so certainly her fatigue is not showing in her boat speed at this stage. Well, she's still looking good, isn't she? She's still looking determined, and well, there was a little check there, and she was looking across to Nicolaidou, who's on her right-hand side. But I guess if you are going to feel safe, you're going to look back to the fourth place sculler. It looks like that's Kate Johnson of South Africa over on the far side in lane one, but Burko is firing it up, isn't she?
She is, isn't she? She wants to make sure she wins this semi-final and gets the centre lane or the best conditions, as however they are when it comes to finals. We see this great shot from a wire camera looking down on the scullers.
Yeah, there's two massive cranes either side of the course, and the Dutch have made a fantastic championships. As we look at the second place sculler from Greece, Nicolaidou, and she looks to her right back at Gao Shuai, the Chinese, who's really upped her game from the World Cup in Egg-Ballet earlier in the season.
And a really gutsy performance here from Burko. She's wanting to maintain that clear water lead over Nicolaidou, but the Chinese sculler, who is in third position, really starting to suffer in these dying stages, just missing a bit of water around the front turn, but Burko's still looking very strong technically. And she's keeping Nicolaidou at bay, who's now just moving to a clear water lead over the Chinese sculler.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is the first race where it looks fairly sure who's going to be in the top three. and those positions look fairly sure as well. But all three scullers to me look quite tired. Just looking at Burko, looks to me like she's got quite a heavy gearing, so it looks to me like those blades come through quite slowly, but she moves the boat quite a long way as she does so, rather than looking at the Greek sculler whose blades seem to come through to me quite a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting. I mean, you know, as rowing experts will know, the gearing, the length of the stroke's absolutely important, and the gearing's going to determine, you know, how many strokes a minute you can put in and how long your stroke is, and that determined by your coach and the shape of the sculler. But Burko's done the job right. She's held off Nicolaou perfectly there as she takes first position. Nicolaou in second, and the Chinese sculler comes through. Gua Shuai comes through to take that vital third qualification slot. It's those three through to the semi-finals, and I think that race slightly slower than the one before, maybe just a couple of seconds slower, certainly on the 1500 metre times, but that won't worry any of those scullers, certainly.
No,
Worldwide fund to put clean